The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now,
all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call to be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top dog. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on the life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord will kill you for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cook dope with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you. I had no life in jeopardy. And I know my mother wants success for me. But that G should take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember running with bruh, even though we did the wrong thing. My life would've been a lot different if I fell up under Rob's wing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name. Now we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas. Not knowing that them handcuffs custom made the face. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design it. Cause when you in them streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you gonna be on papers and on restrictions. My father said a hard head to make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In a place where black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on Lake Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court, from the DC school. I swear it felt like I crawled on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. Asked me why I'm UPK, I told them I ain't have a choice. They said God ain't 50-50 and what's gonna come to pass. The Lord called me out the world and that's how I really felt. All it was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. Go ahead. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I.S.U.P.K until it hit the fan. I want power and a throne, nigga, fuck them grams. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was real as a righteous man. And now got the upper hand, gotta promote this brand. Correct whole multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more mighty make me this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jam. Shit, I needed help. But Twan was locked up and the judge put man on the shelf. Had me cry cause it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to prove shit to nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lie, pop smoke. One time for the most high, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Stacking cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. Then God, I hope you accept my atonement. Cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a gangster. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a gangster. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him This for my people. Because I'm willing to fight against drug dealers if they Muslim, if they Christian, if they atheist, if they Buddhist, if they killing black men. Guess what? I'm gonna say something about it. Because you know why? Just like you ain't gonna, like your boy said, it ain't gonna happen. Guess what? I'm not letting nobody sell you drugs without me saying that. I'm not gonna do it. Even though I don't know you, guess what? Just like that's your boy, guess what? I'm your boy. Even though I don't know you, I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you are a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow, got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how did you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword, with a style that they might just record. The only thing equal is the curse for the wicked and the righteous reward. Have mercy on the many, don't see it. Separated from the tares, now on my prayers, and it's so be it. A rebel, take the world by word of mouth. U.P.K, we the rebels that you heard about. Yeah. And it ain't gonna stop till 100 virgins in the house and I'm handing verdicts out. Yeah, rank, you ain't heard a clout without a shadow of a doubt. These devils hitting licks off us. Fuck the bank, I'm about to stone the pocket ticket office. Can't sweet talk us, cannot stop us. And plus I know the feds watch us. Telling people that they church full of witch doctors. Put us in prison, they stockpile us. Meanwhile, U.P.K turning rebels into rock wallers. In league with mighty men, and now I understand things that never truly made sense. Like why I'm crying at this funeral for a criminal, knowing he ain't innocent, it's fucked up. But my boo shine, standing between two priests, about to blaze on their ass, call it tough love. Look out for niggas just clubs, and wouldn't touch a white bitch with OJ's black gloves. Father, forgive me for my error. I'm forever by your side, clean and purge me of all my flaws. This the reason I'm alive. Thank God for this truth, cause for a long time was a rebel without a cause. Look, man, first time I met manager YAHANNA, man, hit 3807. Rebel without a cause. My little daughter with me. Opened the door, he was dropping the truth for me and all that. Rebel without a cause. Man, you know. You do your time, we taking the mountains, training in hand-to-hand combat. Rebel without a cause, oh, yeah. It's the reason I'm alive. Up, thank nigga. God for this truth, cause for a long time was a rebel without a cause.
You cannot whoop us. We're already dead. We're already beaten down. We've been beaten down for 400 years. We already got the wounds inside and outside our bodies. How you gonna hurt us? You cannot threaten us. You cannot frighten us. We live in the most frightening places, under the most frightening conditions. We are immune to fear. We are immune to harm. You see what I'm saying? You have stepped into a cesspool. You're the only one gonna get infected.
First breath I took, a life too surreal. Second breath I took was the pivot and strike, finish the kill. Influenced by might, with every sentence reveal. I won't pay back, fuck a dollar bill. Won't take a step till it get confirmed. Armed and tape, it was made for our sakes. March like a tank, one step will make the ground shake. My people sick in their head, Lord, let this truth spread like an outbreak and bring hell at the crackers can't escape. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. No more payback for the scars in the slave memoirs. Till Christ arrive, I can't let it slide. Ignore the lies. The only free will that's before your eyes is life or death, nigga, you decide. This heaven was made for me and my fellow. I patiently wait with my eyes on the sparrow, and I pull the trigger while my lips kiss the barrel. Before I ever let a white bitch do me like Othello. I want out this wicked life like Romello. By any means, this devil pulling strings like Geppetto. Lay hold on this brotherhood, I swear I never let go. And fuck that silver spoon, got too much love for the ghetto. Till the score settle, with need be, I die for the cause. Just to hear them angels applaud. And I'm true by every word I say, cause I know my victory on the way. You want it? Nigga, walk this way. This life may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga hard, and I won't give up. And could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? Cause it's real, I be walking with them angels, boy. This life may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga hard, and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? It's real, I be walking with them angels, boy, I can't be touched. Came through in the clutch. They hate but they can't doubt us. We princes of the power, what you know about us? Evil all around us, but a nigga straight, I told you I can't be touched. Holy angels walk at my pace. And I'm grateful for the words that had me delivered. I'm hungry for the glory, but I ain't eating till I feed my next. One West, what I die for. Attire out the book of numbers, this rifle from the Archangel Michael. My niggas rebels, you can't deny them. It's 144, I be running to and fro with the Allah higher. My U.P.K soldiers, ain't no folding or pretending. We in it for the crowns, fuck friends, we want dominion. In the election ascension, I hope I make it through. Give a damn what a bitch think, as long as my niggas know I'm true. Betrayed your kind to get success. You make it through the eye of the needle, nigga. I be his life may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga hard, and I won't give up. And could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? Cause it's real, I be walking with them angels, boy, I can't be touched. It may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga hard, and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? It's real, I be walking with them angels, boy, I can't be touched.
We muted. Check, check, check. Give me a one in the chat if you can hear me. Let's try that again. Clap it up. Clap it up. Oh, you too up. You too up. Going in over here. Nah, it's all good. Nah, Most High in Christ, the water, the water. Give me a one in the chat if you can hear me. Most High in Christ. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. The usual suspects. Shalom. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shabrakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatha Bahashim Yahweh Shah to the sisters.
Preaching office of 1,000 Bon Kayal coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And what we do in the I.S.U.P.K, or the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, is teach daily life living skills to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We teach niggers, spicks, and wetbacks that they are God's chosen people, according to the Bible, all right? Contrary to what your Christian pastor will have you know, contrary to what the school curriculum is teaching you, contrary to what the Republicans or the Democrats, Sleepy Joe, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, contrary to what they're promoting, what they're teaching about who you are, being a so-called Negro, a so-called Latino, a so-called First Nations people, man. In the I.S.U.P.K, we teach the truth about your origin. We teach the truth about who you are. And according to this Bible, according to the scriptures, you're God's chosen people, all right? And we can no longer afford to deviate from that being our truth. I know in the world they talk about living your truth, live your truth, live your truth. Whatever the hell your truth is, that's what you're supposed to subscribe to, believe in, put all your energy in, give your spirit to. Well, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child, you no longer have to subscribe to the false ideologies or the false philosophies of what white society deems you are as far as identity is concerned. You got Commander General YAHANNA, and since 1969, this school has been teaching the truth about our identity. Shalom, Shikatah, sir. You went to class, Adawan? Most High in Christ. Since 1969, this truth about so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians being God's chosen people, the Israelites of antiquity, this truth has been promoted and pushed only through this school, all right? I don't give a damn about a fake Israelite group. If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, you are not in the truth. You're just another Christian organization. You are promoting division, and you're promoting the lies and the fallacy about us being able to come together in the spirit of the Lord and do this thing the right way, man. All right? So today, since we're talking about unity, there's a lot going on the earth. You know, everybody's in the spirit of wanting to pledge their allegiance to America, man. And you do that through, you know, in real subtle ways. You let me know everything I need to know about you whenever election time rolls around, whenever it's time to vote. We get pressured by what? Our coworkers. We get pressured by our professors in college. We get pressured by who? Our colleagues, the people that we slave with. We get pressured by who? Our parents. We get pressured by who else? The goddamn pastor. We get pressured by these politicians to go and cast our votes. Our votes to what? What are you voting for? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman? What are you voting for in 2024? After the centuries that we've been here in this place dealing with the oppressor, after all the lies that he's told, you know, the Native Indian referred to the oppressor, you know, they say he speaks with a forked tongue. What the hell does that mean? Someone speaks with a forked tongue. What does that mean? Go ahead, Officer Quadam.
Salak, if I may.
Give yourself some volume, brother. Give yourself some volume. Yeah, just hit the main. Check. Yeah, Most High in Christ.
Salaki, when I think of forked tongue, you know, I think of the snake.
Right.
You understand? Like, you know, it's different types of forks out there. You got a pitchfork or you got the regular fork you eat with.
Right.
But in this context, I think of a snake. You understand? And like you said, he speak with a forked tongue. It's like this oppressor, you understand? Whenever he speak is venomous to our people, man. it's like it's poisonous to our people because the whole point of why he's speaking is to destroy us. Look, there it is, Most High Christ.
No, I'm gonna share it.
You understand? It's to destroy us, man. And the things that he speaks is venomous to our people. He tells us God loves everybody when we're not supposed to. He tells us all these things when he don't even believe half of the things he believed.
Right.
Like the scripture says, his words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
That's right.
So lock you.
No, damn right. You're absolutely right, Officer Quadam. You know, we're talking about the oppressor, man. You know, and we got some images up here of, you know, yeah. Oh, you got it? Most High Christ. You know, the things that speak with a forked tongue. Just imagine that serpent from the Garden of Eden that beguiled Eve and caused Adam to transgress against the law of the Most High power, man. Just imagine if you commune with the Most High. He's giving you direction. He's giving you instruction. He's your He's your protection. He's your safety. He's your security. He's your covering. You're getting instructions from the Most High on how to conduct yourself in the garden. And then here comes this serpent speaking lies with his forked tongue, man. That is the oppressor, man. Everything that the oppressor teaches, promotes, perpetuates in the earth about us, to us, for us, they're all lies. There is no truth in him, all right? There's absolutely no truth in the oppressor. So if you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you can't believe a damn thing that the NAACP is trying to teach you about our oppressor. We've had over 400 years of observations, you know? We've had over 400 years of broken treaties. We've had over 400 years of being oppressed, of being lied to. I was talking to Officer Lahab, man. Shout out to Officer of 5,000 Lahab, man. What is it? Isupk. And we were standing at the Red House and we were looking at the property. We were looking at, you know, the amount of land that's there. And it was probably 20 something acres. It was, you know, as far as our eyes could see. And if you ever been to the Red House where the Passover was this past year, you know, there's a lot of land there. But the oppressor promised the so-called Negro 40 acres and a mule. And when you lay eyes on 40 acres, I don't even understand why our people couldn't fathom that he was lying. He was absolutely lying to us. But this lets you know that the oppressor knows the vastness of North America, man. All the inhabited land is fertile in the Midwest, okay? But they push the Native Indian off onto infertile lands. Those reservations are in the desert, man. They don't have potable water to this very day. They live in absolute squalor on the res. We live in absolute squalor, you know, in the ghetto, in the projects, in subsidized housing, man, in the favelas, wherever so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians live, man. You know, we're not living in the lap of luxury. We're not eating high off the hog. Most of us aren't born with silver spoons in our mouths. We're used to things like what, EBT and SNAP. We're eating better today. We got to go to our oppressor for salvation. We have to depend on our oppressor for one of all things, as the curses in Deuteronomy outline. What the hell are you voting for? What are you voting for? Anyhow, if you can, brother, give me the book of Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. See, we got to understand one thing when it comes down to our oppressor. He's the same beast from the garden, all right? He's the same that he was then, now, and he will continue to be the evil, wicked bastard that speaks with a forked tongue into the future, all right? If you can, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. You know, we're going to get into interracial marriage today.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, you got it.
Chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
The thing that hath been, read it again.
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
So when it comes down to our oppressor, the Bible describes our oppressor as being our enemies, man. The people that we were sold to for bondmen and bondwomen, all right? They will forever be oppressors. There's no forging partnerships. There is no forging alliances or allies with these people. Because according to Ecclesiastes, who wrote this book? Go to the beginning of the chapter, it'll tell you. Go ahead.
King Solomon.
Who?
King Solomon.
And what the hell was Solomon known for? We're gonna get to him a little bit later in class.
So I can serve wisdom.
He was known for his wisdom. Solomon, King Solomon, one of our great ancestors, was known for his wisdom, man. And this wise king said that the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. So even down to our relationship, our understanding of who these people are, it shouldn't change. The things that your grandparents know about the so-called white man and white society, they shouldn't change. But why? Why have we come into this newfound understanding, this newfound knowledge about the oppressor in 2024? We've dropped our guard, man. When it comes down to us being able to protect ourselves, we don't even realize that we are behind enemy lines. We feel as if that we can pledge allegiance to America, man. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to this democracy, to this great republic of absolute heathens, man. And it makes no sense. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. Keep reading.
Verse 9. And that which is done is that which shall be done.
What has been done over the course of time, specific to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Who's responsible for our oppression? Who's responsible for the brutality that we endure wherever we live? Go ahead, Officer Darash.
Salakia, that's what I was gonna add. The oppression. That's what has been done, which shall be done.
When you think of oppression, what comes to mind?
Just inequality. We're not treated as the oppressor.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about equality.
Right.
Because I read my Bible. We were never supposed to settle for being equal.
Right.
To these other nations, to these other families, to heathens. Why the hell you want to be equal to a heathen when you're the only royalty that's ever graced planet Earth? That's your true position, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. We're royalty. But because we are in the Christian church, that pastor teaching that God loves everybody and that we all equal and that these heathens are, our brothers and sisters. Right. They're not teaching this Bible. Because when I read this Bible, I read a many just variation when it comes down to the nations. There's over 18 different nations on planet Earth, biblically speaking. When we talk about nation, a nation is nothing more than a family. What family are you from? Go ahead, Officer Darash.
Slakia, not meaning equal, but meaning that we're not treated as humans in this society. Meaning, right. As a human being, we deserve at least to be treated as human beings in this society.
Right. So what we've witnessed is the dehumanization of a nation. This is the reason why you can only be great if you are doing a task like a pet, right. Chasing after a ball like a dog. It's the reason why they roll out the balls, during gym class. And we go crazy because that's all we know. Right. Go ahead, brother.
So like what you're dropping is heavy too. And you think about it like, we got to watch the ones that America as our people references, because normally a lot of times for them to get so much recognition is because they turned their back on us. We can use Martin Luther King, for example. Martin Luther King was a traitor to black people.
That's right.
You understand? But the oppressor, he gave him so much praise right before he unalived him. So like,
no, right. Not only did Martin Luther King get unalived, his goddamn mama died in a church, getting gunned down, man, because of delusion, because of lies, because there is no power in that name of Jesus.
That's right.
And we saw that with Sonia Massey. That's right. This is why it's important for you to learn the true name of Christ, or Yahweh Shah Mashiach, as we know in the Hebrew. This is why it's important for you to learn the name of the Most High Power, whose name is Yahweh, man. Your pastor don't know this. Why? Because he don't believe in identity politics, man. He don't believe in you essentially, gaining the things that are necessary for your people to come up in American society. All he cares about is himself. He's a greedy dog, and he's only concerned about his own belly. All right? He don't have your best interests at heart. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. There's only one man on planet Earth. And the men that are in his ranks, under Commander General YAHANNA, man. He's the only leader that is appropriate for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He's the only one teaching you that you're royalty, the only royalty on planet Earth. T.D. Jakes ain't teaching you that. Creflo Dollar is not teaching black men and women that. What we have is something special in the Israelite school, universal practical knowledge. This is so different than that line that's being pushed in the earth, man, of equality. All right? Yes, we do have a God that is about diversity. Okay? Because when you look at society, he created everything that you see. He created the Punjab funky East Indian, red dot, no feather. He created them. He created those Moabites, the Japanese and the Chinese. All right, Moab and Ammon. He created, Esau, the so-called white man, and so on and so forth. But he chose Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right, he chose Israel, man. So if you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you have to understand that there is value in being that. There's value in you being a separate, set apart, severed nation from all the other nations. And with us having our own separate identity, we have our own separate set of rules and laws that govern us, man, in the laws, statutes, and commandments. We have our own separate language. We speak Hebrew. My brother, Officer Quadam, teaches a hell of a Hebrew class every Friday. There's certain things you're not going to understand about the Bible until you start learning, you start studying the language. This is how we know the true name of God. This is how we know the true name of Christ. Unlike your dumb pastor, man. Anyhow, read that scripture again.
Khan. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
Right.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
So what has been done to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians throughout the course of history? What has been done at the hands of these other nations, man? Go ahead, Officer Kowal.
Violence, oppression, you understand? Captivity, harsh captivity. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially here in America, like I like some countries where they have indentured servitude. When we came over here on cargo slave ships, that was meant to be perpetual. That type of slavery was never supposed to end if the Most High didn't interfere.
That's right.
You understand? It just a blood curdling violence against God's chosen people continually all throughout the history of our existence. We've been, oppressed and disenfranchised and sold, whipped.
Right.
Every bad thing you can imagine, just utterly destroyed. You know what I mean?
Damn right. You're absolutely right. Officer Darash was talking about oppression. When you think about where you live in your community, man, and how oppressive it is to live there. You know, you think about oppression, there's very specific things that happen to us that don't happen to other people, that don't transpire in their neighborhoods, but it happens in ours. I mean, we've gotten acclimated to just living in trauma. Trauma rules over our lives, man. Trauma and dysfunction and chaos, all because of these oppressors. And they're designed to keep us living in turmoil. They're not going to teach you that you're an Israelite, because once you learn that, and if you were to actually practically apply what the Bible says about the Israelites to your life, then everything changes. Society, as we know it, will be turned right side up, because right now we're living in an upside down society. Right now, we're literally trying to determine whether or not we're going to put some whore in the highest seat of office in America or some convicted felon. Out of all of Americans, these are the two choices that you have for us. I mean, make it make sense. You'd be a damn fool to go down there and vote for the lesser of two evils. You'd be a damn fool to go down there and vote, period. Voting is not our custom. It's not our tradition. There will be no democracy in the kingdom of heaven, all right? The kingdom of heaven will be based off of a meritocracy, all right? It's a monarchy. And who is the king of heaven? Who will be the king in the kingdom of heaven? It ain't gonna be no damn Donald Trump. If a damn sure ain't gonna be Kamala Harris. Say it again, Officer Darash. Yahweh, man, under the Most High. Yahweh Mashiach is our king right now. It don't make sense to try to wait until later to serve Christ when you should be doing it right now. Don't you think that would mean more? In that day, the fact that you made the sacrifices against all odds, you made the sacrifices to not smoke weed, to not eat any pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster, to not celebrate your birthday, to not celebrate any of the oppressors' holidays, to not sleep with white women, Japanese women, East Indian women, African women. Those sacrifices mean something, man. Those sacrifices that you make right now will make all the difference with respect to the world to come. All right. Because there's going to be a rank and order structure in the kingdom of heaven, man. From the least to the greatest is what the Bible says. That's what Christ said. All right. So when we talk about oppression, we're talking about unjust, right? Or malicious treatment of a group of people. What happened to the Native Indians? How were the Native Indians mistreated?
So like I said, they were pushed on reservations.
They were pushed on the reservations, but what else happened to the Native Indian? We celebrate Thanksgiving every year faithfully. The narrative that's taught to our children is that what? The Pilgrims and the Indians, they had this benevolent union, and they sat down and they fellowship as brothers and sisters on what, November 28th or whatever? Yeah. I don't know the date. We don't keep that feast day. You know, it stinks to us. All right. We don't even eat turkey in November. It's a lot. Anyhow, you think about the Native Indian, and you know, America went through a period where they were at war with the Native Indian. Google the Native Indian Wars, Native American Indian Wars, and you'll see that, you know, the Native Indians, they weren't no slouch, man. That tribe of Gad, that troop, it's not a slouch at all, man. We were absolute warriors fighting with the oppressor. Yeah, we eventually succumbed to him ruling over us. Because what? We put trust in the oppressor. What are some of the ways by which the oppressor beguiled us, or the Native Indian? What did he give the Native Indians? They were so trusting of the so-called oppressor. Go ahead, Officer Darash.
Peace treaty.
Peace treaties. What else? The peace treaties that he reneged on, right? What else?
Right. He besides the peace treaties, he lied. He was, as I told how they come in peace, but he also for the kindness that the so-called tribe of Gad showed those devils, they gave them blankets of smallpox.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Bible talks about us having to depend upon our enemies for one of all things, right? So because of the harsh winters, because they forced us off of our native lands onto reservations west of the Mississippi River, right?
Right.
We weren't acclimated to that climate. Anybody ever been to Asheville?
Right.
Asheville has a complete 4 seasons.
Yep.
They have winter, spring, summer, and fall. Complete 4 seasons. The Eastern Band of the Cherokee, man, they were acclimated to the winters here in North Carolina. But when you start pushing them further Midwest, they're not equipped to deal with those sub-temperature
winters.
Yeah, sub-zero climate. They're not acclimated to deal with those temperatures, those harsh temperatures. So the so-called oppressor knew that. And what did he do? He gave them blankets. And of course, you need them.
Right.
You see these blankets and you're like, damn, this is something that is going to be beneficial. This is something that I actually need.
So lock it on.
What happened?
No, I was about to say, if I could, I thought was answering your question too. He said smallpox,
right,
pork,
right,
no place to go, alcoholism, the trail of tears. He said, I can keep going.
I wish you would, Officer Ayathon. Put it in the chat so everybody can see it. Because that's critical race theory. That will give you an understanding as to why you don't see Native Indians in these treasure cities of America. This is the reason why they were forced onto the reservation, man. Because of all that. Go ahead, brother.
Also, too, what's so heinous about it is that, their language was stripped from them. You know what I'm saying? Their culture was taken from them. It wasn't good enough to just run them off the land. You had to take the children and make these Indian boarding schools.
Yes.
And you had to cut their hair off, teach them that they were savages, and to kill the savage and save the man.
Right.
Totally making them adopt the white European culture or the Western way of living instead of the way they're traditionally living with the fringes and eating off the land and, the multiple wives, everything that was good and beautiful about the tribe of Gad. The so-called devil comes in and tries to turn them into their customs, which is totally just disgusting heathen practices. Man. And I don't think people understand how bad the tribe of Gad was done here in America. You know what I'm saying? Besides the Trail of Tears, it's about Daniel Boone, the introduction of the Colt 45, and what that did. And the Gadites shooting arrows,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And fighting like men. And here come these bastards with these new weaponry. You know what I mean? And all kinds of psychological warfare, killing off all the buffalo. There's a picture of I forget what cavalry that is. They came in and utterly destroyed all the damn buffalo in this state, damn near, where the Native American Indians used the buffalo, not how the white man hunts just for game. They use the buffalo to survive through the winter, to eat. They use the bones for weapons and all kind of music instruments. They use the whole discards of the animal for something.
Right.
And the white man knew that. So he went and killed off all the buffalo to pretty much starve them out.
That's right.
When you do that to a people, man, look at that. I mean, just ridiculous. You know what I mean? You can't name another people on the face of the earth that, that's not an Israelite that was done that bad. I don't want to hear nothing about no damn Irish, no stinking African.
I'll show you right here. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Officer Quadana pulled up a picture. The slaying of the buffalo. This brother's in the class tonight. And look at all those buffalo hides and that devil sitting on the hide like it's nothing. Understanding that buffalo, one buffalo could sustain probably a whole village. And then it's crazy because, we're into prepping. We're into, homesteading, you know, and you see these devils, they take the traditions or the customs of the native Indian and they employ them in their own households. So they'll slaughter a whole cow, and the cow or that bull will keep their family fed for the entire year. Go ahead, brother.
Salakia, sir. It just brought me to a precept, if I could. Like,
go ahead.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 6. It says, "Therefore pride compassed them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment." Like the oppressor wears his pride about himself, like he is such the best thing on the earth. He takes pride in destroying us, man. Like you said, you see how he's literally sitting on these high, like, yeah, I done did something. I done destroyed the native Indians. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like it says, violent is as a garment. He wears his violence as a glorious garment for himself.
That's right.
Salakia.
No, he absolutely does. He certainly does. That's, you think about a raccoon hat. You think about what's his name, Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. You know, you see them wearing them raccoon hats. Go ahead, Homer Foot. Go ahead, Officer Jaraj.
Salakia.
You're right.
If you go back in time when we used to watch the old cowboy and Indian movies, you actually thought that the Lone Ranger or the oppressor was the actual good guy. But you, with knowing the knowledge, once you come into the truth, now you understand why they were actually fighting. So it's not just now them fighting, it's them trying to protect their land, looking at it from the other perspective. So it's just not a cowboy and Native American or Indian movie anymore.
Right. But see, so this is the thing about, you know, when you look at the programming, because that's all that was programming. All right. Which is another form of oppression. He who has the gold makes the rules. So you think about who runs those studios in Hollywood. You know, you think about the news that you see today. You see Fox News, it's skewed. You think about Rupert Murdoch, who is a little hat, and think about the agenda that he's trying to push and promote in the earth about God's chosen people, God's actual chosen people. And it's like they drag us through the mud. You know, we can be anything but a child of God, man. And you're absolutely right, Officer Kowal, when you talk about those normal schools, you know, and how the so-called white man said, we're going to kill the Indian and save the man. They looked at the so-called native Indian as being savage. Well, I'd react in a savage way too. If you came in and tried to steal from me, you came in and tried to take indecent liberties with my woman, with my children. Yeah, I'm gonna be a damn savage. You're absolutely right, Officer Quadam. You think about the names of, I think we were talking about this in class the other week. The Apache helicopter, man, or the Tomahawk missile. You think about those things. The oppressor, he wears those things as what? Trinkets of glory, man. He don't feel no kind of remorse for what he did to the native Indian. And he felt fully justified because he had what? You think about what is that? Oh man, from sea to shining sea. Say that again, sis. Not the Star Spangled Banner. Oh man. It's the philosophy that he had where he believed that he could manifest destiny, man. Manifest destiny. And over what's happening in the Middle East right now, they have a similar ideology. You know, was it from the river to the coast or whatever it is? You know, they believe that they own every damn thing. They believe that they own everything and that their way is superior. Their way is supreme. And that's not so, man. You think about what happened to Salaki, Officer Kodam, you dealing with the, oh, you good. No. We drop that when it comes down to the native Indian because we can teach a whole class on that. You think about the so-called Hispanics, you know, their demise is similar to what happened with the native Indian because most of the Hispanic tribes, it's kind of like they kind of meshed in with Gad almost. All right. But they had to endure, you know, the transatlantic slave trade just like us. They got dropped off. The only thing that separates us is a boat stop, generally. But when you think about how they get oppressed today, this whole attack on immigration, they're attacking our Hispanic Hispanic brothers and sisters, man. A byword and a proverb, man. That's what we are to the oppressor. Donald Trump refers to, you know, where we live as whole countries. He's making jokes about, you know, us being destroyed whenever a natural catastrophe affects the regions where we live. What was that? It was a hurricane or a tornado. It was a hurricane that affected Puerto Rico. And he's making jokes, you know, throwing canned goods and paper towels, shooting paper towels in the press conference, making light of our suffering, man. This is how you know that heaven and hell are conditions. This is how you know that the so-called oppressor is in heaven. He is in heaven at this point in time. And the only reason why he's in heaven is because we don't know who we are as a nation of people. We don't know where our protection comes from. We don't know what we're expected to do as far as the way we're supposed to live our lives, man. We don't know that we're royalty as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right? Darash, keep reading that verse.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
There is no new thing under the sun, especially when we talk about our oppressor, man. He's going to continue to oppress. He's going to continue to brutalize and dehumanize and to unalive us. Everybody's up in arms. I just seen pallets of bricks being laid in urban areas where no construction is being done. You know, usually we'd have a construction site, they'll say coming soon, and then they'll say, you know, like there's a Chick-fil-A coming soon off the Merck. And you know that they're about to build something there. So they put the materials out there, right? But you get pallets of bricks laid in the middle of these shopping centers, man. And it's kind of like all the conspiracy theorists are up in arms. They're looking at Antifa, and they're like, oh, there's going to be some form of civil unrest like we saw with the George Floyd protest. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have to remove our spirit from what the hell is happening in the earth, man. We cannot be too close to spiritually. We can't be too close to what is transpiring in the realm of politics. Because we don't have a politician that is going to look out for our own self-interest. Kamala Harris said it out of her own mouth. She is not going to do anything specific for Black people. She said that, but yet and still she's pandering for the Black vote, putting on Chuck Taylors and pearls and swearing about her, you know, getting orders for collard greens that she had to clean in her bathtub. It's ridiculous. Don't be so simple, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. There is no new thing under the sun, all right? So when it comes down to us giving our love to them, we have to cut that out. We can no longer continue, we can no longer afford to give our love to the other nations, all right? Which brings me to my topic tonight. And I want to talk about interracial marriage because it seems to be a trend, especially with brothers wanting to chasing after these pogs or chasing after these heathen women, man. Like there's something appealing about them. I was going to go into hygiene and cleanliness, but we'll save that class for another day. All right. If you can, brother, give me the book of Deuteronomy. What is it? 7:3. Yeah. Give me Deuteronomy 7:3.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Matter of fact, go to 7 and 1. We'll just do 7 and 1. We'll breeze through this. So we got time. We got time today.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee.
So these are the other nations that the Most High Power, cast out before us. All right, read.
The Hittites, and the Girgashites,
right,
and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites.
So get you a Zondervan, man. Get you a Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, and you can look up who the Hittites were, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, man. I know that the Hittites and the Canaanites, they are descendants of Ham, all right, which are the Africans, all right. But get you a Zondervan and you go and research who these tribes or who these other nations were, who they actually are today, man, because they still exist for the most part. I remember we were at camp and this guy said he was a Philistine. He said he knew exactly who he was. I had never heard that before. Someone say or claim stake to their lineage and them use a biblical name like the Philistines. All right. Keep reading.
And the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Right. And so wherever we live, we went to Detroit, Michigan, and we're all through Dearborn, and we realizing, damn, this used to be Motor City. This used to be a mecca for black people, but it ain't no more. And it's not a mecca for black people. Dearborn, Michigan is literally a hub for Ishmael, for the Arabs, man. That is literally their capital in America. Dearborn, Michigan. You see the Arabic writing on the buildings, the billboards. You have Arabs that are running the businesses in the area. The Arabs are running, they're running a law firm. They're running a chiropractic office. They're running an urgent care. They're definitely running smoke shops. That's another class in itself. All the damn billboards that were promoting Zaza cannabis, it was absolutely disgusting. And that's what they do wherever they go in America. They're not going into the so-called white man's communities and setting up smoke shops and dispensaries. That's happening in your neighborhood, black man, Hispanic man. Keep reading.
Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
So right now is not the time for us to, take violence against the other nations. All right. You have not been given that order to do that. The I.S.U.P.K does not advocate for violence. All right. We are nonviolent, but we're not pacifists. All right. We do believe in self-defense. Many of us believe in the Second Amendment. All right. Anyhow, way back then, it says that thou shalt make no covenant. What's a covenant? Go ahead, Officer Jarash.
An agreement.
An agreement or a contract, right?
Okay.
We shouldn't be contractually bound to these Jebusites and these Girgashites and these Amorites and these Canaanites. A lot of us are contractually bound to them through our slaveries. For one of all things, you got to work that damn slavery. All right. There's nothing like being self-made. It's nothing like being able to get it out the mud. This is the beautiful thing about the I.S.U.P.K, because a lot of us, we never thought about entrepreneurship until we came in here. You got brothers making T-shirts. They got their own clothing lines. You got brothers making war scarves and garments. Brothers selling oils, body butters. making jewelry. I mean, what is it that we can't do? Right. What is it that we can't create? At one point in time, we had to create these things for our people. During segregation, we had to depend on each other, man. We had our own factories. We had our own mills. We had our own pharmacies. We had our own hospitals. We had our own schools, man. We had our own grocery stores. We had our own movie theaters. We had our own candy shops. We had our own ice cream shops. Can you imagine that? Where's a black-owned ice cream shop today? Where is it? Anyhow, we're not supposed to make any covenants with these heathens, man. We're not supposed to show no mercy unto them. The reason why you show mercy to these heathens that are ruling over us and all their funk, all their musk, they don't even wear deodorant, and they look down on you. Like you the heathen. Like you're that vile, disgusting thing that they actually are. It's ridiculous. You ain't supposed to show no mercy to them. Their heads should be bowed whenever we come in their presence, whenever they're in our presence. Keep reading.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Now, how do you make a marriage? How do you make a marriage? Because I was married on paper. You know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Intercourse.
Who?
Intercourse.
Tie and fire. That's right, Officer Kudam. Intercourse. In here, you learn that sex is marriage, according to the Bible. Bring your nasty pastor down here so we can cut him to shreds. We got too many precepts to validate our premise or our argument that sex is marriage, according to the Bible. All right? Only people that don't think sex is marriage are freaks. You're a freak. And this is the reason why, our communities are destroyed. This is the reason why, our households are in disarray. It's because we believe in the lies of white society. Let them be the freaks. Let them treat sex like it's nothing. Like it's, like taking a walk in the park. That's a real serious arrangement, man. That's a real serious decision that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should make, because you can either live or die from that decision. And our communities are overrun and plagued with sexually transmitted diseases and sexually transmitted infections. We lead in HIV, we lead in AIDS, we lead in herpes. I think smallpox is coming back out. They got the damn monkeypox, which is ridiculous. The monkeypox, man. You better learn to fear the Lord. Neither shalt thou what?
Make marriages with them.
That's right. Don't have sex with an African. Don't have sex with a Chinese woman or a Chinese man or East Indian or a white man or a white woman if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. Sex is marriage, all right? It's not dating. You can't debase something holy like marriage, man, and call it dating. That's what the so-called oppressor does. He makes light of something very, very serious. This is a life-changing decision that you're going to make. And sisters, you can only choose once. It's a very serious decision. You better know good and damn well who it is that you're laying down with. We teach polygyny, man. A man can have more than one wife, more than one rib, all right? Unlike the oppressor who promotes, the evil of monogamy. Jim Hyman taught a hell of a class on monogamy. Said you got to leave the one that you love for, that new thing. You can't just keep them both. You got to dishonor this one and put her away and then go get that new thing. Then profess your love for her. You can't just, be responsible for the livelihood of both of those sisters. You have to destroy one of them. they're both going to be destroyed ultimately. How many of us come from those broken households? Damn monogamy, man. Monogamy is of the devil. It's of Satan. All right. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Continue.
Verse 3, thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
Right.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
What does that mean, man? See, we're royalty. So marriages will most likely be arranged, in our society. I'm going to choose who I give my daughter away to. And I got 4 daughters. It ain't like Officer Kowal, he got 1. And this is a blessed man because he gave his daughter to an Israelite that's actually in the truth. What say you? Who are you giving your son or your daughter away to? They got to be of Israel, man. They got to be of the 12 tribes. They can't be of these other tribes that we read about earlier. They can't be. And this is coming out of the Bible. This ain't what Bankayal says. This is thus saith the Lord, man. Tell him where you are again, Officer Darash.
We're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3.
Keep reading.
Verse 4. Salakia.
No, you're right.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
So you allow your son to marry that heathen, to marry that French woman, that Edomite, to marry that Polynesian, to marry that Thai woman. You better hope it's a woman. You allow your son to marry that. Your son's heart or his mind is going to be turned away from the Most High Power. So instead of him keeping the feast days and the holy days, what does Becky celebrate? December 25th. She's going to be trying to figure out how to get your son to the Thanksgiving feast, which is going to be awkward and dumb and stupid. You're going to be dumb sitting there at the table looking like a damn flying buttermilk because you're going to eat dinner with Becky for Thanksgiving. Good luck finding something that's palatable in that place. What do you think you're going to be eating? What's going to be on the menu? You're going to be wearing ugly sweaters and matching pajamas for freaking Christmas. You're looking like a damn idiot. It says that what? Read it again.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Yeah, you ain't going to camp. You're not going to camp. You don't give a damn about the dietary laws anymore. You're going to eat that other white meat. That's going to be through and through. You're going to find out all throughout your house. You ain't finding the Bush's vegetarian beans no more. You're getting pork and beans. And you're going to love it. And it's going to destroy you. All right? Keep reading.
Verse 4. They that may serve other gods.
That they may serve other gods. How do we serve other gods? Go ahead, Officer Darash.
By following the oppressor's traditions, and some of those traditions have gods attached to them.
Right, and that's a little g, meaning that there is no life in these gods.
Right.
It's not a capital G, meaning the Most High Power. These gods have no life. They're just made up deities. It's made up. So now you become a slave to those bastard children of yours. Now you have to buy them presents on their birthday. Now you have to. I seen a video, just made me, it was disgusting, but sister was in the world, and this is a single sister that don't have any children. She got invited to a birthday party for a 5-year-old kid. And when I tell you this kid, their parents is touching the bag because they had Despicable Me themed, minion balloons all over the backyard. And I mean, it was ridiculous. They spared no expense in allowing this little bastard to worship himself on his 5th birthday. And you got this sister who hasn't, given birth to a child at this point in time. She's at this birthday celebration, and I'm wondering how she's feeling. But that's neither here nor there, man. It's wicked and it's evil and it's vain. And it's a very carnal thing to do. But this is what the other nations do. They don't give honor and glory to the Most High Power. They don't believe in sacrificing for the greater good. All they think of is self-preservation. They're only focusing on, what they can gain. They're not thinking of the greater good of the community, of the family. Keep reading. That they may serve other gods. When you think about the holidays, at the root of every holiday that the oppressor honors or holds in high esteem, there is the worship of another god. You can start at New Year's. Talk about Janus. All right. You could go to Mother's Day. You could go to Valentine's Day. What is that? Lupercalia. You can go to Mother's Day and Father's Day and Easter. All of that stuff is debased by, paganism. And the church, they don't speak out against it. This is how you know that the Christian church is the house of Satan, because they promote polytheism. They don't believe in you truly giving your worship and honor to one God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because they never did those things. But in the Christian church, you'll be able to celebrate your birthday. Oh yeah, you can be God for the day at the Christian church. Oh yeah, they're going to have a Christmas ceremony. They're going to celebrate Easter. They're going to have a watch night service on New Year's. All of that stuff is witchcraft, man. Keep reading.
Verse 4. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
So because you serve other gods, because you were such a weak parent, and you allowed your child to choose of the other nations for a husband or for a wife, to make marriages with them, man, to become one flesh with these heathens. You've mingled the holy seed with what? The children of men? Isn't this what the biblical story of the flood is all about? Interracial marriage? So the anger of the Lord will be kindled against you. Continue.
And destroy thee suddenly.
How many of you have ever had the Lord angry with you? What's that like? Having the Most High Power angry with you. Nobody knows? Nobody knows what it feels like to be on the other end of the wrath of the Most High? You do know.
You said to be on the other end of the wrath?
Right.
Oh,
had the Lord's anger kindled against you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what drove most of us in here.
Right.
It's because of the fierce anger of the Most High. You not being able to get any rest. Anything that you put your hand to literally crumbles. You're a goddamn failure at whatever you do. Every relationship, it goes to shambles, man. You can't get along with nobody. You damn near barely hate yourself. You're doing all sorts of manner of evil and wicked to yourself. You have the Lord's anger kindled against you. You don't have to be destroyed. All you got to do is be obedient. Do that other thing. Do that thing that's unpopular. Do that thing that they call us crazy for doing. We're radical for doing this thing, for coming in here and putting on all black. Keep reading. No, you two up.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them.
This is the way you're supposed to deal with them. All right. Keep reading.
Ye shall destroy their altars.
That's right.
And break down their images.
That's right.
And cut down their groves. And burn their graven images with fire.
I could not wait. My brother came in my house and snatched off that image of Caesar Borgia off my family Bible. That was liberation. That was true liberation in the spirit of brotherhood, in the spirit of righteousness. And what happened next? What did we do next? Went and got rid of all that goddamn those Christmas decorations, the Halloween decorations, the wrapping paper for the presents. I remember how that Christmas tree looked sticking out of my trash can. I remember how that looked. And it was a glorious day. I'm sure the angels in heaven were rejoicing. That's how you're supposed to deal with them. Now, don't nobody go out of your way and try to burn down, you know, wherever they sell Christmas trees. Don't be so dumb, all right? We're law-abiding in the I.S.U.P.K. Not only do we follow the laws of the land, we'll raise you one. We follow the laws of God, all right? But that's how we're supposed to deal with the other nations. Don't be a fool, all right? All right. Drop that, man. We talking about interracial marriage, right? Let's go to the book of Tobit in the Apocrypha, chapter 4, verse 12. The book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. And, you know, what got me thinking about this interracial marriage thing is that's what's promoted, you know, to us via the programming on TV. You know, most of your shows, you'll see interracial marriage. You know, you look at Kamala Harris, and black women have been empowered by this woman because she, you know, she's got some pigment to her skin. All right. Not all skin folk are kinfolk. All right. Kamala Harris is not a black woman, not at all. And her father traced their lineage back to a major slaveholder in Jamaica, man. Was it Jamestown? Forget his name. Anybody that's familiar with Jamaica, you know what I'm saying? Definitely chime into the chat. You know, but Kamala Harris is not, she's not a black woman. You know, her paternal lineage can be traced back to Europe. Hamilton Brown, man. You think of Browntown, not Jamestown, Browntown. That's her paternal ancestor, all right? On her father's side. See, the thing about us in the I.S.U.P.K. is we believe this book. We believe this Bible. And the Bible teaches us that you are the seed of your father, all right? Your mother, you know, she's just merely, she just holds the eggs, all right? Kamala Harris is definitely in blackface right now, pandering for black constituents to go to the polls and to put her or to elect her as being what? The next president of the United States of America, man. I don't think it's going to happen personally. Looking at the so-called oppressor and how prideful he is. Now you're seeing this resurgence of, you know, the far right, the alt-right. Got Nazis standing on overpasses, waving swastikas, you know, Sieg Heil to their fallen leader, Hitler. They're not going to allow some East Indian, some woman in blackface to rule over this nation. They fought so hard to protect for centuries, man. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, John Quincy Adams, they spinning in their goddamn grave right now. All right. The book of Tobit, chapter 4 and 12.
It's the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
What is whoredom? What is whoredom? It's a real word. I know the algorithm don't like to hear it. But this is a real word that we are reading out of the Bible, the King James version of the Bible, man. 1611, man. The book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12, it's got the word whoredom in it. What does the word whoredom mean? Give me the definition of whoredom.
This is the Merriam-Webster's definition of whoredom. The practice of whoring, prostitution.
Good night. The practice of what?
Whoring.
The practice of whoring or prostitution. Give me the secondary definition.
Faithless, unworthy, or idolatrous practices or pursuits.
And General Hyman said this is a very low-class thing for a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man or woman to sleep with someone of the other nations. You see a Black man with a white woman, that is a very low-class thing you could do. I mean, the way that they look at us essentially is the way that we should naturally be looking at them. But because we're royalty, you know, we have honor. There's a certain level of decorum, you know, that's attributed to the way by which we conduct ourselves, even inside of the other nations, even when we're dealing with other nations. Christ wasn't a full-out a-hole when he dealt with the other nations. He literally set an example of how to deal with humanity, all right? But even with Christ's teachings, there was separation, there was division. Christ knew exactly who he was. He didn't take a wife. He damn sure wouldn't have taken a wife of the other nations, because that would have been faithless. That would have been unworthy. That would have been an idolatrous practice, man. Fruitless pursuit. Beware of all whoredom, right? And whoredom would be you joining yourself to these other nations in marriage, you having sex with someone that's not Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. Keep reading.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
So there is such thing as a male whore. Because in Tobit, it said, beware of all whoredom, my son. He's speaking to his son. So it's not a good thing for you to multiply wives into yourself, Black man. That's what they want to promote. Bill Bellamy promoted that in what? Want to be a player, or whatever it was. Then you also see the image of Mike Lowry and Bad Boys, where he's dealing with multiple women, not just multiple Black women, but multiple women that are from the other nations. Go ahead, Ottawa.
It's Salakia, if I may. In that verse, it says chiefly, as in saying, but most of all, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And by any means necessary, this is what you should do. Chiefly, not like, it's not, you know, what they tell us in the Christian church.
Right.
The Christian church says you can't control who you love.
Right.
It's all about, you know, unity. And we should be able to get over the past.
That's right.
But the Bible says chiefly, above all things, above anything else. This is most important.
That's right.
So while we look at our sisters and our brothers and so easily being able to point out the things that are wrong with us, you know why you're able to do that? Because they're you.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know our issues. It's easy to point out a sister issues.
That's
right.
Because
you've been seeing them since you were 3 years old.
That's right.
You understand? You've been around it with your mama, your grandmama. So it's easy to point out those issues.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a sister to point out issues with their brother.
That's right.
Why? Because you've been around them your whole life. The same guys you've been in school with, elementary, high school, it's like middle school, high school, college, at your job. So you like, man, I'm sick of them. What do they always say? All men the same. Why? Because it's us. But nevertheless, the Bible says chiefly, right? Mm-hmm. Above all things else, because there's the way that we have to learn how to deal with each other. So that way we can, you know what I'm saying, live and be prosperous together.
Right.
Be fruitful and multiply. Multiply who? What they say, your own kind, ain't it? That's math, ain't it?
That's right.
What like turns attract? That's what it's supposed to do, right?
That's right.
So math doesn't apply to Black, Hispanics, Native Indians. We only get the benefits when we join with the other nations. We only can prosper in this empire because they tell us we have to join with the other nations. That's not what thus says the Lord. That's not what the Lord said. He said chiefly.
That's right.
Above all things else. You know what I'm saying? Above all things, do this. Salaki.
No, damn right. Get out of one hand. Absolutely right, man. Most importantly, principally, especially, chiefly, take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Why? She's the only one that can really relate to you. She was raised in a household. She had a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian father. She knows, the type of oppression and stressors that this world can inflict on a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man. She watched how her mother interacted and engaged with him. She knew what to do when the police got behind them when they was in the car. She knew how to conduct herself, man. She knows how to conduct herself. That's the kind of woman you want. You don't want a light woman. You want a heavy woman. You want a woman that's grounded, a woman that's going to be your anchor. You don't want some superfluous hussy that's fixated on what's happening in the world, believing the lies of the oppressor, believing that if she make more money than you, that she rules over the goddamn household. That don't make any sense. Yeah, doing the damn latest TikTok dance, the silhouette challenge or the ceiling fan challenge. It's ridiculous, man. How long are we gonna be simple? How long? All right. Keep reading, Officer Darash.
Khan, verse 12. And take not a strange woman to wife.
Oh man, that's the word I've been looking for all day. What the hell does that mean? A strange? What does strange woman mean? The term strange is an adjective, right? Adjectives describe things, right? So something about this woman is just not quite right.
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead, Officer Quadam.
This is the Google definition of a strange. It says unusual or surprising in a way that is unsettling or hard to understand.
Man, we dealing with strange women these days. I was going to talk about the hygiene, and there's a trend where there's a montage of reels and stories where you have these white folks speaking their truth about, bathing. And the consensus is they all agree that using a washcloth is unsanitary. Using a washcloth, can lead to them getting a UTI. Using a washcloth is low class. That's something that Black people use. And I'm looking at this like, wow, that's a strange woman to not use a washcloth to exfoliate her skin. You use just a bar of soap, like on the commercials. You see the Lever 2000 commercials from back in the day? You don't see them with a washcloth getting that good lather, getting that good foam, Right. They got just a bar, and they put the bar directly on the skin, and that's how they bathe, if they bathe at all. Right. So I heard they don't even wash their legs or their feet. They just hit the hot spots. And I know this to be true. My first year in college, Salakia, my second year in college, I roomed with an oppressor that was from Montreal. We called him Frenchie. And this bastard did not use any soap. He did not use any washcloths. He said, I'm going to take a shower. And he's right back in the room 3 minutes later, just wet. Still funky, still musty. He played on the tennis team. So you can just only imagine what the room would smell like after 2 or 3 practices. I know this to be true when it comes down to the oppressor, man. Strange. Different from what is usual. I'm used to a woman, bathing routinely. Generally two showers a day, maybe 3 in the summertime. Taking a bath, sitting and soaking in a tub of water with bubbles. What's that other stuff that they put? They put Epsom salt in there. You know, they got the Dr. Teals. Yeah, see, my sister Juanita know. This ain't no goddamn strange woman, boy. You hear me? You a blessed man, Kudam. Bath bombs. An explosion in the tub, man. You dealing with no strange woman? Why would you? It's distasteful, man. It's a very low-class thing to do. You know, different from what is usual or ordinary. It's not ordinary at all, you know, to deal with a woman from the other nations.
And Salakia,
go ahead, brother.
What's heavy by what you said is the last part of that definition. It says hard to understand.
Yeah.
Like Becky can never understand who we are as a people.
Right.
She would never understand our struggle. We can't sit here and tell Becky what's going on with us in life and she really be able to reason with us or have compassion on us. She don't give a damn. We just have black hope for her, basically. Salakia.
It's ridiculous, man. Says it's different from what is usual, ordinary, or expected. Merriam-Webster says that a strange woman is odd. They ain't got no rhythm, man. You look at the shape. These days, it's a little different because we got them BBLs. They getting all kinds of Botox injections and what'd you say, sir? Yeah, all sorts of cosmetic surgery and hyperpigmentation but the crazy thing is, they're doing all that to look like a sister. They're doing all that to look or to emulate a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian woman, man. Go ahead, sir.
Bodybuilding competitions. How
Right.
they spray the color on them, you understand?
Right.
The bronzer or whatever to make them, yeah.
Right. No, you're right. You're right. Just so they can get some pigment to their pasty complexions, man. Let me show you this real quick. You know, I went to school and I studied science, man. And I thought this was really, really interesting. There's a term called mimicry. All right. And that's what you see happening in real time before your eyes with white society, or with any society that's not Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. You see their women trying to emulate what our women look like, phenotypically, meaning their physical characteristics. So much so they've even taken on, you know, the spirit of an Israelite woman. And the Bible describes the Israelite woman as being lively. And I seen a reel of this kid was in his classroom and he was taking what you looking for? You got something to show me?
No, I was looking for something else.
Oh, okay, go ahead. No, you got it. And so he's in this classroom and he's just panning at the different strange women in the classroom. And they all have this this vibe about them where they're trying to do their best impersonation of a Black girl. You got some white girl with some hot Cheetos and the big hoop earrings. She got her hair in a ponytail. She got the OG Fazos on, oversized sweatshirt. She eating hot Cheetos in the class. And then you got another one rolling her neck like she's a sister and using the slang or the lingo. And he's going around the classroom and he's just like disgusted because it's just mimicry, man. They are mimicking what they see in so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian women. How you are naturally. They got to go spend money to look like you. They have to act out of character to be like you. And this is the woman that you want to lay down with, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Nah, you too wild, brother. You in the class with us tonight, Salakia. You know, the powers that be don't want this brother to drop this truth. And we going into interracial marriage tonight. We talking about strange women. You think about the other nations, man, and how strange they are. I mean, you hate your damn mama that much? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man? That you're gonna bring shame to the family by bringing a white girl to the cookout? By bringing you love anime that much that you gotta get you a Jenny Mai? Ain't that much noodles in the goddamn world, man. I can't stand eating. I don't like ramen noodles. I mean, Chinese food was tawad before I knew what it actually was coming in here. You know, I don't like East Indian food. What is it? What Super Ray call them? The goop scoops. Good night. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna settle for that. Good old goop scoop, man. Hell nah. I don't want me a strange woman, man. I want me something that's familiar. All right. When we talk about strange, it's not before known, heard or seen, unfamiliar, not entirely comfortable or well. You're never really truly comfortable with this woman. You try to assimilate and conform to her customs, to her traditions, you know, to the things her family does every year. You're going to always be an outlier. You're going to always be the oddball. You're going to always just be that token nigga. You're never going to truly be embraced by them, ever. And it's a very odd thing, all right? And the Bible talks about this, all right? The Bible forbids this. Keep reading.
Which is not of thy father's tribe.
That's right.
For we are the children of the prophets.
So if you so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, don't get it twisted, man. You can marry through and through Israel. All right. As long as they Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, it's a go. All right. It's a go. Because all of our uncles are related, essentially. You think about our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, specifically Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. He had 12 sons. 12 brothers, man. They became the chiefs of the 12 nations of Israel, all right? So, well, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So it's a family thing. If you marry a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, we're not mixing up the bloodline at all. We all come from the same progenitor or the same forefather. But if you opt out and you choose to go after a strange woman, now you're violating the code. You're going against what God has ordained as being natural. That's a very unnatural thing. All right? Keep reading.
Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
Remember, my son.
So we are the children of who? Noah,
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
And they were special in the sight of the Lord. Whatever it was that they were doing, the way by which they were living their lives, the way by which they were walking before the Lord accepted them, man. We're reading about them today. They're being honored when we read about them today. This is who we're supposed to model ourselves after. We see where they fell short and we see where, they were victorious. These are our role models. The beautiful thing about it is it's not a foreign nation. This is our bloodline. This is our heritage, man. It's in your genealogy. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Keep reading.
My son, that our fathers
remember, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have to call to remember. We got to remember, man. We got to be reflective. We can't forget. We have forgotten our origin story, man. Don't believe the hype about what they're teaching our children in the school curriculum. Education starts at home. And you got to come here and get it at ground level. The I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. All right? Remember what?
Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning.
From the very beginning. Keep reading.
Even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
They all married wives of their own kindred. They didn't have to deal with Becky, man. They didn't have to deal with Jenny Mai. They didn't have to deal with any of that nonsense, man. They married wives of their own kindred, their own kin. Keep reading.
And were blessed in their children.
Yeah, their kids didn't come out looking like goddamn aliens, man. Their kids didn't come out looking like oddities. Their kids didn't come out looking like, you know, they needed to sit under a billy light. And what else?
And were blessed in their children.
They were blessed in their children. So you think about the offspring that, you know, just the spirit on the children that come from marriages that you make with strange women. It's like the blood is rebelling against itself. You're mixing, you know, the holy seed with the seed of a heathen. So this child, you know, I'm sure this child is perplexed as to which way. You look at Obama. You watch the movie Barry, and he talks about how, you know, even though he's a heathen, all right, he's not the holy seed. He's not an Israelite at all. Obama is a filthy African, okay? And his mama was a little hat, all right? Or a fake Israelite. Anyhow, he didn't know where to fit in. He couldn't fit in with the blacks. He couldn't fit in with, you know, the oppressors. Him existing in itself, he was a quandary. He was a walking quandary, man. Don't do that to your children. Don't do that to your offspring. You want them to be blessed. You want them to know indefinitely who they are and where they come from, all right? You don't want there to be any confusion at the feast days or the high holy days. Because if you got a heathen, you know, you're a sister, you married a heathen, you can't bring them little bastards in here. You can't bring them to the Feast of First Fruits. You're just going to be in the truth, and your family is doing what they do. Commander General YAHANNA says, I don't ever want to see him. Don't ever let me see them. So General Hyman says, I second that. I don't want to see him either, because it's a scourge on our society. All right? Keep reading.
And their seed shall inherit the land.
Yeah, man. You want your children to inherit the land. You don't want them to be homeborn slaves like we are here in America, because we failed to strange women. All right? All right, drop that. Let's go to the book of, let's go to Judges 3, 6, and 8. The book of Judges 3, 6, and 8. Matter of fact, no, let's skip that. Let's go to 1 Kings. 1 Kings 11, 1 and 9. 1 Kings 11, 1 through 9. We're going to get through this real quick. Yeah. Very, very important that you understand that we can't afford to, you know, we don't have the luxury of the other nations to, you know, act as animals. We've been dehumanized enough in this place. We've been treated like beasts in this place already. Can't be like a dog. A dog will sleep with anything. A dog will hump his own mother, hump his own sister, hump his own brother. All right. you're expected to behave like a human being, like royalty if you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, all right? So we are very selective, like the Most High Power is intensely selective. We're a nation of exclusivity, man. So it's important to be exclusive. Stop going for low-hanging goddamn fruit. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1.
But King Solomon loved many strange women.
But King Solomon, who was King Solomon? The son of King who? King David, right? Which is the lineage of Christ, the lineage of Yahweh Shamashiach. These are Judites that we're talking about, man. What more does a nigga love than a so-called pog? We like that strange thing. We like that odd thing that don't bathe. We like that. But King Solomon, what?
But King Solomon loved many strange women.
That's right.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh.
Good night. I mean, he's all over the goddamn place. He loved many strange women. So I'm sure he was dealing with Moab. He was dealing with Ammon. He was dealing with Ham, Canaan, Foot. He was dealing with Elam. He was dealing with Edom. I mean, you name it. He had it. He was dealing with it. Together with the daughter of Pharaoh, okay, or the Egyptian, right? It was a Mizraim, right? Which is another Hamitic people. Keep reading.
Women of the Moabites.
Right.
Ammonites.
Right.
Edomites. Zidonians.
Right.
And the Hittites.
Keep right, like I said before I even read that. Keep reading.
Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel.
This is very important. He didn't say this to nobody else. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman and child, listen up. We are the descendants. We are the living, breathing descendants that are walking the earth today. We are the descendants of Israel, the children of Israel. That's who we are. So whenever you see this in the Bible, know that it's talking about you. All right, keep reading. Ye
shall not go into them.
Ye shall not go into them. Keep reading.
Neither shall they come in unto you.
Right.
For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods.
Surely you're going to be impressed by, I don't even want to name any of their gods because they have so many. Their gods are endless. I mean, you teach our children about their gods in the school curriculum, but they won't teach you that you're God's chosen people. They're doing away with teaching critical race theory, but they'll teach you about a Greek god. They'll teach you about that. For surely, and this is a sure thing, truthfully, in all truthfulness, they will turn away your mind after their gods. You're going to be focused wholeheartedly on serving their gods. Keep reading.
Solomon clave unto these in love.
So Solomon, he clave unto these other gods in love. And we're talking about a man that was the most wisest king that ever lived. Solomon didn't follow the playbook. And your pastor said, oh, we all fall short. He didn't have to. He didn't have to. Solomon could have denied himself the self-perceived pleasure that he would get from dealing with the other women, the other strange women from the other nations. I liken it under bestiality, man. In the world, you're not taught this. In the world, that's just another woman. You can't help who you love. You stuck in that Christian church and you think that God loves everyone until you read this. How your pastor break this down in church on Sunday or in church on Saturday. Have him break that down. What does that mean, Pastor Joe Willie? Keep reading.
Verse 3. And he had 700 wives.
Good night. Keep reading.
Princesses and 300 concubines. and his wives turned away his heart.
Solomon was busy as hell, man. He was busy. He was busy chasing after the lust of his own desires, his own carnal desires, man. He got blinded in the fervor of wanting to appease himself. You talk about what's stronger than the word of the Lord, it's a woman. Solomon fell for strange women. How many strange women, Darash?
700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines.
Good night. And his wives did what?
And his wives turned away his heart.
His heart, your heart is synonymous with your mind. Turned his mind away from serving the Lord, man. He's supposed to be the leader of Israel. He's supposed to be leading the people, judging the nation. You can't judge a nation. You got 700 goddamn strange wives. They all want to celebrate, their gods. And you want to make your wives happy. Solomon was pandering to these hoes. These whores. It wasn't, the Bible described it as whoredom. Not my words. Keep reading.
Verse 4. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods.
He was an old trick. Solomon turned into an old trick, pandering to over 1,000 different wives that he had, man. Can you imagine that? Out of 700 wives, 300 what? Concubines? You trying to determine who you're going to lay with, who's going to give you pleasure Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Come on, man. I know Solomon was a freak. He was probably having 2 or 3 at the same time. Yeah, of course his mind is going to be turned away from doing the work of the Lord. Keep reading.
Salakia, I kind of wanted to add to that.
Go ahead, Officer Darash.
Sounds like old Thanksgiving back in the day.
What's that?
Meaning like he was turning his heart away from other gods. Sounds
right.
Like he was taking parts in those same type of activities back then.
That's right. It said his heart clave to these things. To serving these women, man. Every one of us knows a brother that does that. You go to the gun store, I gotta check with the wife. I gotta check with the wife, before I make this purchase. Like, a woman is not supposed to be ruling over you at all in any goddamn thing. Now, yes, it's okay for you to talk to your wife. All right. It's okay for you to, I guess you can confide in her to a certain degree. All that goddamn pillow talk is going to make you soft, man. You're not going to no longer be a man of war like the Lord, because you're going to be too intertwined in what she wants. And what she wants is not going to align with what the Most High wants. I can tell you that now. Many a damn Saturday, I got to push that warm, hot thaw for me. But I digress. Keep reading.
Verse 4, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God.
Your heart is supposed to be perfect, man, without flaw with the Most High power. Devoid of flaw, meaning that you're supposed to be obedient. You lost in the sauce. You've been taking on all these wives and concubines and princesses that are strange. Keep reading.
As was the heart of David, his father.
As was the heart of David, his father. His heart was not perfect with the Most High power. Why is that? What is it that's keeping you from having your heart perfect with the Most High power? I'm asking you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman and child. What is it? It's not worth it, whatever it is. It's not worth the kingdom. It's not worth your soul's salvation. Keep reading.
Verse 5. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians.
Right. He went after Ashtoreth.
And after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites.
And after Milcom, the abomination is what the Bible describes, the god of the Ammonites. Lot's descendants, Lot's sons. Keep reading.
Verse 6. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Solomon did what?
Did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Evil is morally bad or wicked. That's what we are if you're not in the I.S.U.P.K. That's what you are when you're not in the truth. That's what we are. We're evil when we don't keep God's laws, statutes, commandments. As Israelites, that's an evil, wicked thing. When you got the law of God, it was given to you, and you opt out. You choose otherwise. You divert to assimilating and conforming to these strange wives and their strange customs and their strange traditions of worshiping their strange gods, man. What does that say about you? Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord. Keep reading.
And went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father.
That's right, man. What does it say about David? You know, he had a heart that was fixated on the Lord. That's how our heart should be. Our mind should be fixated solely upon pleasing the Most High Power. I mean, why not? What the hell else do you have? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child? What do you have to lose? We're wasting time out here, man. If you keep reading, you'll see what Solomon did, you know, and how he fell from grace because of his love for strange women, all right? This is just the tip of the iceberg. We probably got 30, 40 more precepts on interracial marriage. I pulled up interracial marriage laws or miscegenation laws in North Carolina, and I don't even think you could marry a white woman until 1977 here in North Carolina. You're wasting your damn time, man. I feel like I'm wasting my goddamn breath. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have to wake up, man. We have to wake up to our identity and your royalty, all right? Don't do that low-class, low-level, carnal thing of choosing a strange wife or choosing a strange husband, man. You think about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and, you know, the impression that we leave on the earth. I mean, you can't find something that you like within the 12 tribes. I mean, you can't find a Dominican that you like, a Puerto Rican that you like. You can't find a Judite sister that you like, an Issacharite sister that you like. Come on, cuz. I mean, what are we talking about? Anyhow, that's my time, man. We're the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, you are not in the truth. I'm going to bring up Prison Officer Quadam Bon Yahawada to read the security announcements. Clap it up.
Check. Security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every 10% of any increase the Most High gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation will be the memorial blowing of trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month, or which is going to be held on Wednesday, October the 2nd, 2024. And you can find us in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter through the 24th verse, to like the 24th to 25th verse. We got the Harlem Cookout coming on, man. Coming up. You understand? What is it? Contact them for the GoFundMe. You understand? See how you can contribute to it. And it'll be starting on August the 29th through the September the 1st.
That's right.
You understand? You know, check all your bulletin boards for any other upcoming things like that, man. Tune into the new channel for Commander Johnny YAHANNA, which is called the Real Commander Johnny YAHANNA, something like that, Salaki. You understand? Which is the new Black Watch. You understand? All these things that we got, man. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, man. It'll further help us push this truth, man. You understand? If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, I imagine just the brothers up here. Also, like just the brothers. Men of Israel, we're going to render one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, my Shabbat. I imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shimi Al-Shah Brakathum.
Yahweh Shimi Al-Shah Brakathum.
Yahya Matah. Sorry, man, the turn. Sisters, I imagine, man, to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to render one courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, my Shabbat. I imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shema Lataba Shimi Al-Shah. Yahya Matah. Class dismissed.
We get sidetracked.